What's up? What's up? This is Davinci Neptune. Many of you guys are concerned with social status and how to climb up the ranks. All right, so I'm gonna make this really nice, simple, and easy. If you want to climb up the social rank, you have to contribute value to the social environment, the social context, the social settings. A lot of people are preoccupied with being the leader or being better than or being afraid of being less than. But if you consider the fact that if you add value to the social structure, the social context, you will be more liked. And each like is the equivalent of a vote. The more votes you get, the more likable you are as a person, which then means you will be more prioritized. People will like you more. And because people like you more, people will like you more. The more people like you, the more people will like you. In most situations, avoid, especially in public and social situations, avoid doing anything negative. Avoid because this is your reputation. Your reputation is essentially on the line. That's what social status, that's what social proof is. It's reputation. It's all about reputation. So there's a lot of people who are trying to be leaders, but they're doing it in a very artificial way where they are trying to manipulate the social environment so that they can be perceived as the leaders. And this works in the short run, like maybe a day or two, but then people catch on. People catch on because it's like they're being fake and phony. It's like a fake leader. They're not the real leader. It's like a fake diamond trying to act like a real diamond. And that shit falls apart real fast. This is why we are wired to contribute to the environment, contribute to the pack because we are pack-like species. Human beings are pack-like species. Our DNA evolved from our caveman, those that time period long, long, long time ago, and we have evolved since then. We contain the same DNA of our ancestors, which have evolved and evolved and evolved, but the same structure is still the same, which is get meat, procreate, get more resources, procreate. Today, get wealth, procreate. Big house, big car, lots of money, six pack, all of those things, leadership, confidence, all those things that are clumped up with being successful is pretty much all clumped up into one. The important thing to note is to add value. A lot of people want to be sneaky and shady, and this is bad because, well, you kind of trying to look like a leader, but again, the way that the social structure is set up is that people are going to talk, and because people are going to talk, you might that thing that you do, you or that other person who is trying to be overly manipulative, is going to backfire because people are going to say something about, well, what so and so did. So the way that you would operate this in a better way is to be a leader who's influential, who is spreading positive vibes. And it's not to say that you can never be negative, but as a general rule of thumb, avoid it because if you do one thing, you can offend someone. If you make one mistake, you lose the customer, you lose the girl, you lose the guy, you lose this and this and that. As a general rule of thumb, avoid going negative. To keep it really simple, be influential, contribute value, respect everyone. And yes, you can do a little bit persuasion or convincing. You can do that here and there. That's called trade. We are also programmed to trade. We are programmed to trade. We are programmed to fight. And we're programmed to procreate. So these are all things that are instinctual to us. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of people who try to do the leadership thing very poorly, very incorrectly, and because of this, they're not really getting what the kind of relationships that they want, and people backlash. You can look in history. tyrants get their heads cut off. All throughout history, there has been good leaders and bad leaders. Napoleon was a bad leader, right? He was a great influential leader, and because of that, people look up to him to some degree as, wow, this guy was so charismatic. But they also fail to remember that he died. He died very early in his career because when you are doing so many bad things back to back, you're going to die, or some other kind of negative consequence. Now let's look at like some good leaders. Dr. Martin Luther King was a good leader. Now, ironically, he did die too, but he died because he was spreading a lot of good vibes. Ironically, because he was promoting love, they came and said, "No, let's get rid of this guy." It sucks. Now I'm trying to think of another good leader that was like really, really influential. One guy that really stands out to me as a leader is The Rock from wrestling. That's one guy who is, to me, it's really what kind of leadership looks like. I'm trying to think of another one. Donald Trump to me is not really a good example of a leader. He's not a good leader. He's not a bad leader. I think he has um, the dominance of a true leader, but I don't like certain things about how he conducts himself. Sometimes he's a little overly aggressive, and I think he's putting himself in that way on purpose because I think he's trying to be strong, and he's doing that on purpose. That's what I think. I think it's kind of like it's like wrestling. I think he's putting up a show, and he's starting controversy. This is my opinion. I don't really know. I don't really follow that stuff. But from what I see, it just based upon basic human psychology, I think he's putting up a show. That's what I think. I don't think he logically thinks that being aggressive is socially correct. I think he's doing that because he wants to demonstrate himself as a strong and powerful leader. And I think he wants to be a powerful president. I think that's what he's trying to do. Now, I'm not for him. I'm not against him. I don't, I don't care too much about him. Now, what's a really good leader? I'm trying to think of one. Oh man, I can't think of another good leader. The Rock was one, but on the top of my head, I don't have any good leaders that I would reference. It sucks. The only one I could think about was Dr. Martin Luther King, but he died. And I guess Gandhi was another good leader. But what I'm trying to say, it's not about love and light. It's not about peace. It's about people who are contributing value, people who are adding value, people who are problem solving issues of society, who are inventing things, who are creating. I'm not here promoting love and light. We're all one. Yes, as a spiritual being, yes, right. I endorse that. But I'm not saying you should always never be negative or whatever like that or anything like that. There are times when you gotta yell at someone to get them to shut up. There are times when you gotta say stop. There are times when you gotta tell people no. There are times you gotta tell people fuck off. Right? I'm not saying any of that, but I'm saying that if society is to be healthy and flourishing and prospering, we need people to be contributing. We need people to be adding value. There needs to be some order. There needs to be you know, some structure in place. Otherwise, it's going to be fully chaotic. Now, imagine it, as much as we backlash the government and, the system in place, everything is in place today because there will be no order. And if there was no order, there would be chaos. Imagine if there was no laws. You can go down the street and get your head popped off. Because we have these laws, people are programmed, I guess you could say, to not do those actions because there's going to be negative actions for those things, right? So the game of life is this kind of attrition wars. One goes up, one goes down, and then we keep playing it out to decide what is the best way to go about this. But in terms of leadership, add value. Be serving to your followers and really, really care about the people you are leading. And this is how you be a great leader. Everyone wants to be a leader, but no one wants to actually be a real true leader. Being a true leader is difficult. It really is, because when all these negative people are inflaming you, hating you, backlashing you, giving you crap, you got to stay there strong and understand that they're coming through hell. They're going through their own issues, and that's why they're spitting you with they spit in you with their negativity. That's all I got for you on this one. Check me out on prosperitylife.com for the best tips and strategies on how to win more in life. And thank you for watching. Until next time.